and we want you to phone in and talk about, well, to begin with, we're talking about Roy Hodgson. It looks like he's going to be the new gaffer of Watford, 03717 223344. If you dial that number, Watford fans, you'll be next up. Before that, though, Danny Murphy was on the White and Jordan show. He said he's not surprised that Watford have turned to Roy.
Reliable, been there, done it, with many clubs, West Brom, Fulham, Palace. He'll get them organised. He's likeable. They'll know what they're doing. They'll have a plan. And it gives them a hell of a chance. You know, he's so experienced in dealing with this situation, and he's not going to ruffle feathers. He's going to go in, show them what he wants to do on the training pitch, and you know how personable he is as well. The players will like him and get on board with him straight away. So, I think it's a very, very sensible appointment, and one that probably, if anyone at Watford was to pick up the phone to me and said, would I recommend him, he'd probably be the first name. I'd say go to Roy, because you know what you're getting. That
was Danny Murphy on White and Jordan. Just quickly, we broke the news on last night's Sports Bar, as I said, and every single Watford fan that phoned up was for Roy Hodgson, which is obviously great for him, great for the club. I'd like to hear, we'll go to the happy Watford fans in a sec, but I'd like to hear from any Watford fan that thinks it's the wrong appointment. I'll put you up first. So if you're a Watford fan and you think, I don't think this is right for my club, if you call in now, you'll be next on air, 03717 223344. So Watford fans, dial in now. While we're waiting for that to happen, and we'll go to the other calls in just a sec, one of the problems I've got with Roy Hodgson, if I was a Watford fan, is things like we saw at the World Cup with Harry Kane being on corners. Right? Now, it's not a big thing, but you could argue it was a massive thing at the time. I just think that any manager that decides that one of the best number 9s in world football should not be in the penalty area when a team attacking and put him on corners, I just can't work out why a manager would see that. And then that would worry me for a manager coming into a new club halfway through the season with so many key decisions to make. You know, I've seen that one. Listen, I'm not going to base my view on whether or not he's going to keep Watford up on the back of that decision. But that's a worry, isn't it, when you see something like that?
Yeah, it is. But again, we don't know what goes on in the training ground. They may have practice corners. They may have seen Harry Kane is a fantastic deliverer of the ball, which he clearly is. But yeah, it is concerning when that happens. I can only talk about when he was at Crystal Palace, because I watched a lot of their games at Selhurst Park, and when he left, or when there was talk he was leaving, there was a mixed reaction from the supporters, because he is a manager that will keep you in the Premier League, and that's what he's done for year on year with Crystal Palace. Then there was talk, obviously, Patrick Vieira coming in, and again it was mixed. It was like, we may as well keep Roy Hodgson because we want to be safe every year. Obviously that's changed now with the way Patrick's come into Crystal Palace, but it just shows you what the supporters think of a manager like Roy Hodgson. And if you're Watford and you've seen that with Crystal Palace and other clubs, as Danny Murphy had spoken about, you'd think, well, this is a good opportunity. They weren't going nowhere really with Claudio Ranieri. I think they were only going to go one way, and that was relegation. But they've probably seen Norwich do it as well and have that little step up. Can this be the final push before the end of the season?
When a club sacks quite a few managers in a short space of time, usually the football fans have a problem with the owners. How do you think the Watford fans view their owners?
I think they're, like, as you rightly said when you released it on Sports Bar, it is. I think they love them because if it weren't for them, they wouldn't be in the Premier League. And they run their club. I'm going to say similar to Chelsea, but worse than Chelsea in terms of how quickly they get rid of managers. So because it's Claudio Ranieri, it meant nothing that it's this big boss who won the Premier League. I heard a stat on Drive yesterday with Adrian Durham, and he said it. And it, since leaving Leicester, since they won the Premier League,
that's right.
10 Premier League games that he's won out of 53 with
it's
Leicester,
bonkers, isn't it?
Fulham, and obviously Watford. Now, yeah, that when he went to Fulham, I questioned that, and then Watford took him. So it was always going to be the case that he wouldn't have long if he didn't win many games. But I think Roy will have until the end of the season.
Yeah, it is incredible what Ranieri couldn't do. Only 7 points he managed to get out of a possible 39 during his time at Watford. Barking. Let's speak to Stuart, a Watford fan, 03717 223344. That's the number he's dialed. You can do the same. You'll be next. Hello, Stuart.
Evening. How you doing?
I'm good. Evening. Where are you in the world?
Well, I'm on my way home, so it is kind of evening. It's been an eearly start and trying to get home, yeah.
Okay. All right. Evening to you, Stuart. So you're a Watford fan. What did you make of the news when you heard it?
Yeah, I'm excited about Roy Hodgson coming in because it can't be any worse than Ranieri. I was there on Friday night at the Norwich game, and it was the worst I've seen in a very, very, very long time.
Do you think with Roy coming in, it's because if he gets sacked early, it doesn't matter too much. Like, you could be looking at Frank Lampard or a Nuno. Do you think they've chosen Roy because, we can give him this till the end of the season?
Yeah, I think so. He's kind of safe hands, isn't he, really? I suppose with anybody like Lampard or Rooney or anybody like that, an unknown, you are in the lap of the gods. It's an unknown scenario, isn't it? And, Watford want to keep their Premier League status. We're not one of the big 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clubs in the Premier League. We haven't got a God-given right. None of them have really. But, we were expected to go up and then come straight back down. And anything we can do, to stay in the league, we're going to do, really.
But Stuart, let me ask you, right? Because it looks like he's going to get a 6-month deal. And then if he keeps you up, I'm guessing it might be the option to stay at the club longer. But do you not want to defrow him? So if you look at Norwich with Dean Smith, right? I get the feeling when they appointed Dean Smith, it wasn't just to the end of the season to see whether or not he could keep them up. It was long-term, or as long-term as you can get nowadays in management in football. But I get the feeling if they go down, he'll stay there and he'll build. He knows the club, he knows the players, he's been there X amount of time. So it's a good appointment because it's not just for the short, not just for the now. But with Roy Hodgson, I sort of get the feeling that if he doesn't take you up, you're going to be back to square one again next season in the Championship with a new manager.
Yeah, I suppose, obviously Dean Smith is a lot younger than Roy Hodgson, and I kind of get where you're coming from on that one. But what I would like to see, if a miracle did happen and Roy Hodgson and Ray Lewington were to keep Watford up, if they were to then, say, for example, bring a younger manager in, whether it was Rooney, Lampard, somebody like that, for Hodgson, Lewington to sort of stay on and help, use that wisdom, I suppose, of all the years of experience and, have them in the background to sort of help a younger manager coming in. So you've got that wisdom there, but, with the young ideas, if that makes sense.
Stuart, Andy spoke about when he broke it on the Sports Bar last night that a lot of Watford fans, supporters phoned up. All of them phoned up, and they were backing the owners. Like, why is it that you back the owners so much, considering how many managers get turned around at the club?
I personally, it's quite funny. I listen to talkSPORT all day, every day, and you've had Watford fans ringing up, complaining about the owners and wanting the owners out. And I'm one of the opposite. I want the owners to stay because when the Pozzos family first came in, Watford were hours away from going into administration. They've come in, they've stabilised the club, they've brought a new training ground, developed the ground. We had a stadium. We had a part of our stadium was derelict. It was rotting. The East Stand was rotting. They've built a new stand and they've developed it and everything. So, I think that they wanted to stay because they've seen the stability they brought to the club over the last, God knows how many years they've been there now. So, I've been a Watford fan all my life. I worked at the ground as a steward and the turnstile operator for 18 years, and I saw some bad ownership and some bad people in the club. And so I'm happy with the Pozzos. I want them to stay.
Stuart, have you phoned the show before?
Years ago.
A year ago?
No, years ago.
Oh, years ago. Why are you taking so long to call back? You're an excellent caller. Make sure it's not that long next time, all right?
I will do, no problem.
I'll tell you what, when Watford go down, give us a call back.
That'll be 4 managers later.
And when they go up, I'll come in and have a chat.
Okay, we'll do that. That'd be nice. Okay, you got a deal. When you go down and you come back up, you can come in, all right?
Perfect.
There you go. Have a lovely evening, Stuart.
Take care, gents.
There you go, Stuart, Watford fan. Go down, come back up. That's sort of Watford, though, isn't it? Some clubs, that's how they work. Norwich are a bit like that as well. Yeah, and I don't know how football clubs can like that so much. I mean, we've heard of a lot of Newcastle supporters when we've been in together and saying, the best thing could happen is they go down. No, it couldn't. No, that'd be the worst. For a club like Newcastle, so you just want to have a go. And to be fair to them, Norwich are having a go, and now it looks like Watford are going to have a go. Who are your bottom 3 to go down? Burnley, Watford, Norwich. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.